it just goes to show you how many people, they refuse to try to be intelligent. They try to be thoughtful. You see, I will reserve the prerogative to yell at somebody and display at being angry when they're blatantly being evasive and deceptive with me. Don't waste my time, okay? If you want to come up here and disagree, I'm game for that. Present yourself intelligently, maturely. Don't try any number of deceptive and evasive tactics that people pull all the time, because then you're wasting my time. And I feel that I'm perfectly justified in getting angry with these people. This is not Mr. Rogers apologetics.
Like, people expect for you to be like Mr. Rogers, right? For you to be this person, and they want to behave in this manner.
Listen, I'll be kind and patient with people who it's clear to me that they're, in spite of their disagreement or debate with me, that they're really trying to be transparent and truthful, and they're not trying to use evasive tactics. Okay, I'll be as patient as the day is long with those people. But once you make it clear to me that you're going to engage in verbally dishonest tactics, you're done with. I'm done with you. I'm going to display anger towards you.
Darth, we have here someone who just came up.
Yeah, I'm an agnostic, and I think most of the things you say about agnostics making claims is true. I think any agnostic that's thought about it for 2 seconds does have an opinion about intelligent design or basis of metaphysics. They're not agnostic in that sense.
Agnosticism is a scam. It is a claim to be neutral toward God, when upon examination, they're not neutral toward God. They are God deniers. They just don't deny God explicitly. They deny God implicitly. Did you know that the man who invented agnosticism, Thomas Huxley, was a liar? He was an atheist who pretended not to be, so as he wanted to radically reform England in the 19th century. He hated the clericalism and the influence and the power of the church involving the state. But if he had come out and admitted that he was a naturalist or an atheistic materialist, then he would not have been allowed to be of a public influence. So he pulled this crap that he's an agnostic. It was a big scam. Until this day, when I talk with self-proclaimed agnostics, they tell me, "Oh, I'm an agnostic." "Oh, so you're neutral?" "Oh, yeah." "No, you're not, and I can prove it." Are you neutral toward God?
No, I'm not neutral. I have opinions about it, but they're not fully fleshed out.
Okay, good. So since you're not neutral, which is it? Do you acknowledge God's existence or do you deny God's existence?
Again, I think there's a God. I just have concerns about access to truth statements about that God.
How old are you?
27.
Okay, you're 27. It's not like you're 16. You're 27 years old. Do you understand?
Yes.
You just told me you believe in God, but moments ago you said you were an agnostic. Do you understand? An agnostic is somebody who refrains from making a judgment about the existence or non-existence of God. So you have flatly contradicted yourself.
Well, I am agnostic in the sense that I don't think we have access to knowing about that God.
Stop with the bullshit. Stop trying to bullshit me. An agnostic is somebody who claims to be neutral toward God. Do you understand? Agnosticism is well defined. It means that a person will not claim to know or to believe in a proposition without sufficient justification or evidentiary support. That comes right out of the mouth of Thomas Henry Huxley. Now, you claimed you're an agnostic. Are you claiming, yes or no, are you neutral toward God?
I think we have different definitions of agnostic then.
Goodbye. You're
definitions. What's he saying there?
Notice again.
That's crazy.
I ask very clear questions, and I get these bullshit, evasive, obtuse responses.
Yep.
Because they don't want to answer my questions. They are so fundamental. Look, for the people in the audience, That guy was pretending that he was being transparent. He got kicked because he was being willfully deceitful and evasive. Okay? He stated categorically that he's an agnostic. But then minutes later, he says, I believe in God. An agnostic is not somebody who says they believe in God or they believe God does not exist. An agnostic is somebody who says, I neither believe nor assert that I believe that God does not exist. And I pointed out to him, he's contradicting himself, right?
Yep. There he is. Yep.
Hey, Lazi, you want to be persona non grata forever? I suggest you stop doing your stupid lying heckling in the text chat. Okay?
I muted him for 5 minutes earlier.
Yeah, mute him permanently.
Yeah, Lonzy, you're not helping your case. You're strengthening ours.
Look, folks, if you come up here and you say, Darth, I think you're wrong. I believe there's no God. Fine. I don't mind. If you think that the Bible is a book written by Bronze Age goat herders, and you think that the Bible is false scientifically, whatever, we'll have a great time disagreeing. Don't come up here and bullshit me, right, with convoluted, obtuse responses, where you're flipping, you're flopping, you're being evasive, you're being deceptive. You're wasting my time.
Yep.
Jesus said, you're neither hot nor cold. I'm going to spit you out of my mouth. You're lukewarm.
Texas, come defend that statement. Sorry, Darth.
No, they're not okay. They're just
Sorry. I was trying to come up with that agnostic thing. If they say they go, I think we have varied definitions of agnostic. It's like, what?
No, these words are very carefully defined in the English language, okay? An atheist is propositional. A theist is propositional. Theism is the proposition that there are some gods or there is a God. Atheism is there are no gods or there is no creator God. Agnosticism is a claim to suspend judgment on either propositional stance. It's a claim toward neutrality. And I get people coming, I'm an agnostic, but I believe in God. That's a contradiction in terms.
Or how about people who say, Darth, that they're agnostic atheists?
That's a stupid compound term, okay?
Yeah.
People who call themselves agnostic atheists, with few exceptions, are just internet clowns picking up stuff on YouTube, okay? An agnostic atheist is a contradiction in term because a theist and an atheist are positions where you're making a judgment about the existence of God. Agnosticism is the claim not to make a judgment either way. Okay, so what they're doing is they're bastardizing these words. Look, even Steve McRae, who calls himself an agnostic, he's somebody I find to be very contemptible in my opinion. But even he, as a pretend agnostic but actually a closet atheist, says, listen, it's stupid to call yourself an agnostic atheist. If by atheism means you're without belief, any belief in God, well, then that covers it all because knowledge is a subset of belief. It doesn't need any further qualification. So at best, it's a contradiction in terms, right? Excuse me. At best, let me just rephrase that. At best, it's a redundancy, okay? At its outermost best, okay? Now, progressively worse, it's going to be an inconsistency because if you say that atheism is I'm without belief as opposed to I believe God does not exist, but I don't know, right? Then it covers that, okay? So what they do is they'll either say I believe God does not exist or I'm without belief, okay? It makes no difference if you say, I believe there's no God, I just don't know. Who cares if you claim you don't know? Who cares? Okay? All you're just doing is you're taking a mental state, a belief state that is less justified than a knowledge state. So what? Okay? So this is the problem with talking with so many people. They pick up this terminology, they throw it around because they pick it up on the internet and they think they're clever. Oh, I'm an agnostic atheist. And if they don't realize how uneducated this is. Now, I will say for qualification, there are a couple of philosophical wonks out there, atheists, who have written material within the confines of their own writings that they will delineate themselves as an agnostic atheist. Fine, more power to you within the confines of your work. But the fact of the matter is, in the English language, it is inappropriate and wrong to call yourself an agnostic atheist. Look, do you know how many man hours is wasted on this stupid? Just sit there, say, yes, there's a God, no, there's a God, or I'm being neutral toward God.
Or what does atheism mean, Darth, right? The definition of atheism. Yeah.
Well, they can't even agree upon this.
Yeah. Like, we waste so much time on these, initial...
So, Darth, I have a question for you.
All right, hold on a second. Cosmic Barbarian, come on up. And unless you're just a drive-by heckler asshead, come on up and explain how I'm wrong. I sent you an invite. Come on up. Let's see if you have balls or you're just a drive-by teenager. Come on up, Cosmic. Tell me how I'm wrong again.
It says on his bio, Darth, that he's a Norse pagan.
Yeah, come on up, Cosmic.
And Tab, you wanted to say something?
These people sit there and attack me in the chat, which is fine, but then they don't have the balls to back it up.
Yeah, I was just going to ask real quick. So
it's not coming up.
So I was going to ask real quick, Darth, if you think about it, I've been seeing this possible scam come in the chat where people say, I'm deaf, please type your responses to me. No Christian will answer me. And they just inundate the chat with I'm deaf. I'll try and invite them up just to see if they're really deaf, but they have not enough followers. So I'm like, is this a new thing that they're doing to scam people?
Yeah. I've run across it.
Yeah, I just muted him. I didn't want to be insensitive to someone who's actually deaf, but I'm like, it's just a scam, is what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you, do you think it's jumbo shrimp, oxymoron, to call yourself a person who believes in God and be agnostic?
Yeah, it's a contradiction. It's a contradiction.
So he's an oxymoron, is what he's saying.
Yeah. No matter how you cash out these terms, it's problematic, no matter how you do it.
Yeah.
Okay? If atheism is simply defined as being lacking a belief in God, then there's no need to qualify it with agnostic, because knowledge is a subset of belief. Knowledge is a belief state that we attribute to those belief states for which we have greater want justification for rather than lesser. Okay? So if you're without any belief in God, you don't have to sit there and just say, well, I don't know. If you're without any belief in God, that already includes that there's no knowledge states about God. So why add the qualifier? Okay?
Yeah. Well, I think this is why, Darth. I think they actually go in there and they want to redefine the terms to be confusing. So they want to continue just.
Yeah, they think by calling themselves an agnostic atheist that this is erudite, that it's impressive. It's not. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody in these online debates calling themselves an agnostic atheist, it's stupid to do this.
Hey, you've had a recent guest. I think he was here yesterday, Cain Abel's brother. We might have already kicked him out, but if you want to bring him up, we can. I know I kicked him out yesterday.
Who?
Cain Abel's brother.
I vaguely remember the name, but if you want to bring up somebody, but most of these people don't last too long because, they're deceptive, they're evasive, and they're uncivilized. Oh, him again?
So
no, he's done. Bye, asshat. You're done.
This guy again, Darth Cain, you want to...
Yeah, as soon as I recognize the avatar, I kick him. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to spur on the chat a little bit, but...
Look, people should understand their are a minority of times where I'm cool, calm, and collected, and not invoking. I'm not being I'm not being the Gordon Ramsay of apologetics. And the reason why I get indignant is because I'm fed up with people either just lying, being deceptive or evasive, or acting in an uncivilized manner. Okay, I'm not putting up with it.
Sorry, we had someone in the chat that I was going to bring up, but I just went and blocked him.
Did you see his name?
Mm-hmm.
Is that why?
Well, his bio. So I was like, and why?
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see his bio. I just saw the name. I even told him it was gross. Such a weird name to have. Why? I don't know.
Okay. Anybody else in here? Come on up, guys.
I mean, it would.
While the sun shines.
I mean, the fact that they have to flaunt that. Sorry, Darth. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say the fact that they have to wear like their sexuality out, it like strictly because it goes against
backfiring on them, especially in American culture, and it's spreading to other locales as well. So, for example, these major outlets are now backing away from it. Google's starting to back away from this now.
Okay. Yeah, Target, all the
They're now realizing. You see, they'll promote all of this woke agenda, but now that they see that it's going to undermine their business model or their reputation, now that Trump is president, now they're all backing away from this. Okay.
Yep.
Right. And now what Trump is doing is gaining widespread recognition. For example, and I have to be careful what I say so I don't get suspended by woke TikTok. But then again, hey, TikTok, baby, you're getting suspended, baby. Remember how you ban us, TikTok? Guess what's going to happen to you in a couple of weeks, TikTok, if you don't sell? Guess what? You're getting banned, TikTok.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. But now that Trump is riding high in terms of popularity, and he's going after this woke crap and banning it in the government, right? And the issue of wokeness is coming to front and center. These companies don't want to get a bad reputation. When they don't have the current situation, they're ready to wear it on their sleeve. Let's look at Campbell's and the rest of these countries do some woke commercials. You're not going to see them continuing to do woke commercials, at least temporarily.
I do have a question for you, Darth. One thing that I'm very, very angry about with Trump, I'm very sad that he canceled the pennies.
What does that mean?
He stopped making pennies because it's 3.6 cents to print a penny. So he's telling the Treasury to cancel it.
I think it's time we get rid of the penny due to inflation, don't you?
Yeah, but does that mean it rounds up a nickel instead of a penny? Instead of 6% interest, would you 5 or 10%?
Does it really make a difference?
Oh. I'm just very sad.
Right?
Should I go get all the 2025 pennies?
Since I'm Darth Dawkins and I'm just such a son of a bitch, get over it.
I will tell you this. There was a guy that actually, I saw this on the news. He had like 10 or 15 buckets of like pennies. So that was when it was okay to destroy the penny, he could cash in all the copper and make money.
Oh my gosh, he might make maybe $35. Wow, what a landfall.
It was hilarious. I was no way.
Yeah. No, given
I don't know,
inflation,
man.
it's just we're to the point where it's just ridiculous. I understand keeping the penny as a monetary value in commerce, because when you're dealing with massive volumes of things, right? Suppose you're a manufacturer and you're going to be making, let's say, 20 million straws for a major, let's say, fast food place. The price and having pennies is a significant amount of money when you're dealing with that volume. So I don't think it's the idea of getting rid of the penny in terms of monetary value, but in terms of coinage, I think it's becoming a problem.
Yeah. No, I just was like, wait a second. I heard they were going to do it, and then he implemented it. But what's also funny is I'm wondering about
wrong. You know why you're wrong? It's because you're bald, you're ugly, and you're wearing glasses.
That's right. I'm just seriously disturbed about the penny. It's so bad. My grandma was a penny pincher. What are you going to call him? A nickel pusher?
A penny pincher. You ever hear the
gone are the days.
The guy's so cheap he could squeeze a penny and make Abe Lincoln scream.
Yeah, see, kids aren't going to know that. Penny candy, nothing like that.
I'll never forget.
$3 a candy.
A number of years ago, I said, about 15 years ago, I said to my third child, I said, you know who died today? He goes, who? I said, Bob Hope died. And he looks at me and he has a smile on his face and he goes, who's Bob Hope? He had no idea. He had no idea who Bob Hope was. And I'm like, really?
We're getting old, Darth. Who's The Price is Right? Is that Bob Hope?
No, that's Bob Barker.
Oh, Bob Barker, that's right.
You don't know who Bob Hope was?
I kind of remember him.
Bob Hope was an internationally famed comedian and actor who starred in movies and became probably the most famous
I remember him.
Comedian in American history, Bob Hope.
Yeah, he played a lot in good movies. Yeah, he died in July 20.
He was in a lot of movies. He was in movies with Bing Crosby, the famous singer.
Yep. Well, heck, he was born in 1903 and died in 2003. He was 100 years old.
Yeah, he lived a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's crazy. He died a month after he turned 100. May 29th to July 27th. So it's almost 2 months. 100 years and 2 months.
Well, if you don't watch a lot of documentaries and stuff like that, then you're going to miss out who some of these people are before your time. But I've always loved watching documentaries of any kind, including in movie and television history. Well,